Good morning, students. In today's class, we will discuss about one of the important topics for your laboratory and your career, that is clinical laboratory instruments. So, come to introduction. So, in laboratory testing, it helps in diagnosis, follow-up, and treatment of disease. So, the test must be accurate, reliable, and cost effective, and also fast means decreased turnaround time with short testing time. So, in order to get those qualities, this require the use of good instruments and good analytical methods in the laboratory. So, knowledge on laboratory instruments helps in producing good testing and accurate results. So, in today's class, we will discuss some of the important instruments which are used in clinical laboratories like hot air balloon, water bath, incubators. We will discuss. So, come to the first one, water bath. So, water baths are required for maintaining specific temperatures like 37 degrees centigrade, 56 centigrade to carry out various chemical reactions based on requirement of experiment. So, components of water baths is nickel plated tank of about 20 to 30 liters capacity. So, this is the tank which containing water which is 20 to 30 liters capacity, and heater which is placed at the under the tank to heat the water, and thermostat which is present in here which control the temperature, and control knobs to adjust the temperature, and thermometer to record the temperature, and a pump which used to circulate the water and even distribution of heat between in the water. Okay, these are the components. You should write the diagram. You should draw this diagram. So, tank, pump, water, and thermometer controlling knobs like temperature control knobs. Okay, pump. This is the water level. So, before using water bath, should fill the water, sufficient water we should fill, and after end of the experiment or use, we should switch off or power off the instrument, and we should cover the water bath when not in use. These are the care and maintenance of water bath. You should draw the diagrams. Next, come to the another one, hot air oven. Hot air oven containing double walled heavy gauge aluminum chamber. So, next, thermal insulating by the thick glass wool between the working chamber and outer mid steel casting. So, this is a double wall, inner wall and outer wall. In between, there is a insulating material, that is glass wool, which prevent the heat loss, and fitted with the fan to even distribution of air in the chamber, and thermostat which maintains the chamber air at the chosen temperature, and the thermometer which shows the digital record the temperature, and it will show on the instrument which is ranging from 40 to 300 degrees centigrade, and adjustable ventilators and temperature controllers are temperature controlling knobs, and perforated metal shelves to keep the materials inside the oven. Here you can see this is a double shell, double walled stainless steel chamber. This is a perforated steel wools shells which to keep the instrument are in a glassware. This is a temperature controlling knobs, main switch. Okay, so this is a diagram you should draw in your record, and also in exams also if they ask. So, uses of hot air oven. Used for dye sterilization of glassware like glass syringes, petri dishes, pipettes, test tubes, and surgical instruments like scalpels, scissors, forceps, etc. And also used for chemicals like liquid paraffin, fats, and heating of chemicals used for the preparation of primary standards and preparation of anticoagulated bulbs. So anticoagulated bulbs means for collection of blood, anticoagulated blood, we should add the anticoagulant in liquid form and make it to dry. Then that test tubes we use it to collect the blood in order to collect the anticoagulated blood. So those are anticoagulated bulbs. So precautions: it should not be overloaded and arranged in manner which allows the free circulation of air in between the those material which is we kept in inside the hot air oven, and material to be sterilized should be perfectly dry before only it should be air dry, then we will keep it in hot air oven. Test tubes, flask, etc. should be fitted with cotton plugs, and petri dishes and pipettes should be wrapped in a paper, and rubber materials and inflammable materials should not be kept in inside because they are flammable. The oven must be allowed to cool for 2 hours before opening. This is a very important step. So since glassware may crack by sudden cooling. So what are care and maintenance? Do not forget to put off OFF, that one, main switch when heating is over, and clean the hot air oven after use. So come to the another one, incubator. So by looking incubator and hot air oven, by looking is same, but only the difference is here in incubator we use it to maintain at very low temperatures than hot air oven. So this is optimal temperatures for required for various reactions. This is also double walled cabinet with steel, and also in between double wall there is a insulating material, and heating element with thermostat to maintain the optimum temperature within the cabinet, and control knobs to control the temperature, and thermometer to record the temperature. So that usual temperature ranges between 30 to 80 degrees centigrade, and adjustable perforated shelves, these are, and to keep the materials inside. So use of incubators in laboratory are used to maintain the optimal temperature inside the chamber, that is 37 degrees or 50 degrees, whatever, in between 30 to 80 degrees is a specific temperature it should maintain. And determination of enzymes in a specimen by endpoint reactions, and determination of like enzymatic reactions like glucose oxidation method like urea, urease method, uric acid, cholesterol, TGL methods. These also require incubators which are usually at 37 degrees centigrade. So growing microorganisms on various culture media, and also estimation of PT and APTT in pathology and tissue cultures. So care and maintenance same as like hot air oven, we should put off the main switch when heating is over and clean the hot air oven after use. So this is the diagram of incubator. So these diagrams should be drawn in your record, okay, along with labeling. So next one, refrigerators. So these refrigerators we use commonly used in like in our homes also, but in laboratory refrigerators which containing LED displays which shows the which are large in size, and also these refrigerator which shows in display with how much temperature is there and which is maintained at constant temperatures. So components are condenser decrease the temperature, and thermostat which control the temperature, and thermometer to record the temperature and show in display, and fan which circulates the air in the chamber, and LED display to display the temperature. These are the components. So use of refrigerators are in medical refrigerators maintain the constant temperature ranges between 2 to 8 degrees centigrade. Usually used to store the reagents, standard serum samples, blood samples, chemical solutions, etc. And also stores in medicines, vaccines, pharmaceutical supplies, and in blood bank regularly we use for storing of blood bags. So deep freezers, these are the same refrigerators or fridges with low temperatures ranging from minus 20 degrees centigrade to minus 80 degrees centigrade, very low temperatures. So here also thermostat is there to maintain the required temperature, and digital thermometer to record and also show the temperature, and temperature adjustment keys or knobs to adjust the required temperature, and also usually fitted with temperature chart to record the temperature. Uses are so for storing of blood serum sample and required for research purpose, and also for long storage of serum sample we use for deep freezers, and store tissue cultures, and also in blood bank store frozen plasma, that is plasma sample, and store volatile chemicals in industries. So these are the uses of deep freezers. Okay, these are the components. So cold box, this one you already knows. So cold box are thermal insulating boxes which are used in to maintain the low temperatures, usually ranges between 2 to 8 degrees. So usually fitted with a cool pack, which is non-powered. Cold boxes are usually carried along with cool pack to maintain the low temperatures, and used for transport of blood samples, vaccines, medicines, other medical supplies one place to another. So next one is cyclomixer. This one also when you went to the lab. So this one also called as vortex mixer, because when a sample kept on in the tube, it produces a vortex type mixing. So this is called as vortex mixing. So it containing rubber piece fixed off center to the shaft of electrical motor present inside the cyclomixer. So rubber piece to hold various test tubes. When the motor drives, a rubber cup in circulation motion transmit to the fluid sample or vortex is produced. Next, there is a speed regulating knob to regulate the speed, and also containing power on off switch. So uses are it is a device used in the laboratory to rapidly mixing of liquid or sample in the test tubes or vials. So distillation, come to the next one, distillation operators. These are used to prepare the distilled water by using tap water. This one also is seen in laboratories and in college lab also. It is particularly free from interfering ions. So components of distillation apparatus are steam condensation tube made from glass, and the inlet connected to tap by means of rubber tubing, and tap water is introduced into the still, means the water is flow is still and ensure sufficient water over the heating coils. Next, heat coil heated by the electricity. When the water boils, it will convert it to vapor, and the vapor are collected in the condenser, and the distilled water trickles through the outlet which is collected. So this is the diagram. So a single distillation, either a double distillation. Here you can see this is the water source which is filter water. Then we will go for distillation. Here this is the inlet of water. Then here water is boiled, then it is vaporized, and here it is a condensation unit. Here condensation occur due to the cold water. This is the cold water which is coming from tap water. So this is the condensation occur, and then this water is collected. So this is a double distillation water. This is a single distillation water. Here is the same component. Here is a heating coil is there where water is heated, then this water boiled and evaporated and collected in this collection tube. This one collection tube. This is the inlet. This is the outlet of water. This is the cooling water to condense the vapor. So uses care are before heating coil ensure sufficient water is introduced in the still to maintain the water level above the coil. So this water suitable for various biochemical tests in laboratory. So next one is water deionizers. This water deionizers also called as demineralization or ion exchanges. This is the water filtration unit which removes the total dissolved solids, usually called as TDS, from the water using ion exchange resin to produce type 1 or reagent grade water. This one you already discussed in reagent different types of water. So these water deionizers containing different resins like cation resins which removes the positively charged ions, and anion resins which removes the negatively charged ions. So ions are positive and negative charged ions are removed, but this cannot remove the particulate matters and also pyrogens or bacteria. So before deionization, pre-treatment of water is necessary. Okay, in clinical laboratory testing, ions in the water affect the testing or experiment to receive false results. That's why these deionization is required. So what are the uses of water deionization? Here is the cation and anion exchange resins. This is a deionization plant, like a water filtration. So these are the uses of water deionization are, so to produce reagent grade water required for preparation of standard reagents, chemicals, and also required for pharmaceutical research laboratory. So these reagent grade water which is also suitable for electrolyte estimation. So advantage of these water deionization is which does not require heat. So this is the diagram you should draw. This is the cation and anion resins. These are the cation and anion resins. This is the water inlet with pressure gauge which monitors the pressure of raw water which is coming from tap water. This is the water purifying monitor device which monitor the TDS of water and also measures the conductivity of water which is flowing through the okay, this is the diagram you should draw. Come to the another equipment, reflex condenser apparatus. So why it is called reflex condenser water means, so condenser is attached to the boiling flask. This is the condenser, this is a boiling flask. So water is boiled or reagents boiled and again condense again, and so the condenser is attached to the boiling flask and is clamped in upright position. Okay, so that is called reflex position. That is why it is called as reflex condenser. So and cooling water is circulated. So cooling water is, this is the inlet and outlet of cooling water which is coming from tap, and this cooling water which condense the vaporized reagents or water due to the vapors, and which condense they rise up and the condenser thus prevent them from escaping. So why this reflex condenser required is, and we will discuss in application. So the upper level of vapor is in the condenser often be seen as reflex line. So here the vapor which is generated from the boiling flask again will enter into the condenser unit, then due to the cool water this vapor is condensed and again converted to water and again reach to this boiling flask. So this prevents the escaping of vapor. Next, the direction of flow of water should be enter the condenser at the bottom and leave from the top. So water should be enter from low level and escape from top to maintain the water inside the condenser unit. So this is the heating mantle which is heating control required for heat the round bottom flask. So this is the diagram you should draw. You can draw this one or this one. Okay. So used for reflex condenser, used to heat mixer of for long time and to be able to leave it relatively unattended. For example, if you take any water we will heat long time, we will lose the water due to the evaporation. So in order to prevent the loss of the reagent or any water, we use the reflex condenser. So used to heat a mixer for a long time and to be able to leave it relatively unattended. So it allows the reaction to be carried out at the boiling point of the solvent, and yet it prevents the loss of solvent or reagent due to the evaporation. Understood? So this is a diagram of cyclone mixer. Before we already discussed. This is a diagram you should draw. This one usually seen in laboratories. This is the rubber where we will place the test tubes and mixing of sample. This is the on and off shifts and speed controlling device. So another one is magnetic stirrer. So magnetic stirrer components, here you can see this is the base which containing drive magnet, and this is the stirrer magnet. This one is liquid we use to mix. So base which consisting of rotating magnet or stationary electromagnet that creates the magnetic field. So usually coupled with heating system for heating the liquid. So magnetic stirrer which is adjustable up to 400 rotation per minute RPM and suitable for mixing of solutions of 500 ml or half liters. So base usually containing power switch and also controlling knobs which controls both temperature and speed, and LED indicators which indicates these temperature and speed, and also Teflon coated magnetic stirrer bar which makes the solution, and support stand with clamp and thermometer holder. So used to mix or agitative liquid or solution. Okay, this is the diagram you should draw. Another one, shaker. So shakers containing plates which vibrate back and forth or side to side or circulatory motion to mix the components which is placed on the plate of the shaker. So which is it is used to mix laboratory, used to blend or agitate the substances in tubes or flask by shaking them, which is used to mix the reagent, and also used in tissue culture work. So they used to form the homogeneous mixers. This is the diagram you should draw. So this is the normal picture of those shaker. So where we will place the beakers or flask. So it will agitate back and forth like this one, or left and right like this one, or tilted in motion like this one. It will tilt and mix the or agitate the solution to produce the homogeneous mixture. Thank you. We will discuss in remaining in next class. Okay, so you should draw these diagrams and uses in record also. Okay, thank you.